What's going on, guys? It's your boy Horizon here, and today we're going to be talking about the Paradox Junction. Everything to do with the story, everything going forward into DLC 3, if you will. Everything just like going around the story and everything that just seems to be like taking a life of its own here. I had to raise my volume there for a minute. I'm so sorry about that. Low audio levels. We just woke up. I decided I'm going to write this script. We're going to hammer this thing out. So, let's get into this, zombies fans. That was super corny, don't know why I said. Now, the ending of Paradox Junction might actually be one of the most important lore moments we've had in Black Ops 7 so far, and I don't say that very lightly because, I mean, the end of Astro Malarum, while it was cool that we found out, oh, okay, Shangri-La, all this on Mars, it didn't really do anything for us, but Nuketown, remake, Paradox Junction, whatever you want to call it, finally gave us a clue as to who these two girls were that have been helping us out along the way, a little bit more into the lore narratives, and moving into DLC 3 with the house scene at the end. We'll get into that a little towards the end, but because although this kind of does just look like a Nuketown remake, it's kind of cool going back to the past to the future. It's actually hiding something much more bigger. Now, not only do we finally learn more about the Shadowsmith, but we're also introduced to the two mysterious girls known as the twins, and they might be the key to the entire Dark Aether storyline moving forward. So today, let's peel back the veil, right? Let's get into this, the Paradox Junction ending, the Shadowsmith's connection, and the true identity and the meaning of the twins in the Paradox Junction. Because trust me, this map is gearing up for something huge in DLC 3. Now, what is Paradox Junction? What it actually is? What are we playing? Right now, first we need to understand where this map takes place. Paradox Junction is not just Nuketown, it's actually a pocket dimension inside the Dark Aether where time itself is broken, fractured into two, like the atom that splits in two. Players are constantly shifting between pre-Nuketown, or pre-nuke Nuketown, if you will, post-nuke Nuketown, and fractured timelines of both of them, right? And the reason this place exists is because the Warden has turned it into a temporal prison. After the crew freed the Shadowsmiths in previous maps, or freed their Shadowsmiths versions in previous map, the Warden drags them into this dimension as punishment. Now, this is basically the testing ground. This is the how do you say this? Like the courtroom to figure out what you're truly made of. What are you doing? This is the pavement where you're going to pave your way. A place where he traps powerful beings and experiments with time itself. But that's where the story starts to get really, really weird, because the voices guiding us through the map aren't the Shadowsmiths anymore. Instead, we hear the two children. Now, we do hear the girls before, which we'll get into the twins in other various maps like Max Ammo, Nuke, all the other cool power drops. Sometimes we hear them instead of the Shadowsmith. That was in Astro Malarum, but now it's just them. But we do get little side tangents and tidbits from the Shadowsmiths in between rounds and Easter egg steps. It's all cool, all pretty cool. Now, who are the twins? Now, throughout the Easter egg quest, players hear the voices of the two mysterious girls known as the twins. They act like children, but they clearly understand the Dark Aether far better than anyone else other than the Shadowsmith do. They talk about time loops, suffering, and even treat the zombie apocalypse like a game. And now I say game not lightly, because it's like a schoolyard game, a bunch of schoolyard games in Nuketown where these girls have kind of made their home in the Dark Aether. And that's where the deeper meaning comes in, because the twins seem to represent two sides of the Dark Aether itself. One side represents innocence and balance, while the other represents corruption and chaos. In other words, they embody the dual nature of the Dark Aether on the Paradox Junction. But the most interesting part, they are not the Shadowsmiths' nature at all, which means their power might actually be greater or lesser or equal. It is a separate entity, right? They don't do the bidding of it, but they're just as powerful as him. It's very weird. Now, the duality of this entire situation is very prevalent when you're melting the heads to try and get the hammer step, and for the blunder get, if you will. And one of them goes, "Oh, that's horrible," and the other one goes, "I wonder what that would be like if it was a real human." Like, it's the duality of man, essentially, but in the twins, these girls split like an atom. Very cool concept. I kind of dig it. The map itself, it's like a mid-card map for me, but the idea that was there is pretty cool. Now, let's move on forward to the Shadowsmiths connection. Earlier in the story, we learned that the Shadowsmiths are beings who weave reality together using something called the loom, if you will. Now, if you guys don't know what a loom is, it kind of is like a tapestry thing, makes blankets and stuff. You could dye things, all this weird old engineering, but kind of think of that as like a cosmic engineer. Now, they maintain the fabric of the universe, but the Warden has been hunting them down the other Shadow Smiths. Why? Because if he controls the Shadow Smiths, he controls reality itself. And by the time we reach Paradox Junction, the crew has already freed several of them, which is exactly why the Warden trapped us here. But here's the twist. Instead of freeing another Shadow Smith, the Easter egg focuses on destroying something called the Dark Heart. This is essentially the power source keeping the time loop alive, and when we destroy it, the Warden loses control of the dimension. Which brings us to the ending cutscene. After the final boss and the destruction of the Dark Heart, the time loop begins collapsing. The nuclear explosion frozen above Nuketown finally starts moving again. Reality itself is breaking apart, but instead of the crew escaping on their own, the twins intervene. They open a portal, they guide the crew to a place where we've seen before in Zombies lore. The house. That house. Revelations. The same one tied to the multiverse in the end of the original Aether storyline. This moment is incredibly important. Maybe we'll see Dr. Monty again.
Okay, let's recap a bit, shall we? This was meant to be a new start, really. A perfect world. Free from all the evil that had corrupted each and every corner of the known and unknown universe. It was going to be a place of safety for the kids, the little yous. You little... Well, so far, so good. But things started to go wrong soon after you arrived. Now, I can understand your initial shock coming face to face with Max's, especially after so long. But you did the right thing. You followed the plan. You brought the summoning key here, and you destroyed that bloody machine once and for all. Thing is, Max's went and ballsed everything up.
Please, you must help me.
He heard voices, you see, calling to him.
Only together can we prevent the destruction of your world.
It wasn't really his fault. You know, he hasn't actually got his soul yet. All I got was a brain. Anyway, the key thing, as in the thing that is key, is that Max is fiddled around with the summoning thingamajig and accidentally released an even bigger bastard. Someone even I didn't know was in there. The Shadow Man. The one and only original Harbinger of Doom. So, I'm going to be absolutely truthful with you. Things have got way too far out of control. This isn't any vague woo-hoo evil. We're talking about the Apothecons, the most powerful and evil entities in all the existences that ever existed. And now they're here, in our perfect world. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
But it also means the twins have access to locations that were once tied to Dr. Monty and the Keepers, which implies something absolutely massive. Now, what does the bigger meaning have? The ending suggests something we haven't seen before. The Dark Aether might be creating new cosmic entities. Are we going to see Dr. Monty and the Keepers? Are the Apothecons going to be back? Who knows? Now, the entities that exist outside of the control of the Warden are of all of this, of like Dr. Monty and everything, is the Warden, the Shadowsmiths, and possibly even the Keepers are now involved in the Black Ops 7 universe, which is kind of insane that this new time loop and lore is being added in almost 10 years later. The twins seem to represent a new generation of power born from the Dark Aether itself, and if that is true, then the Warden might not actually be the final villain in this Black Ops 7 saga. He might have just been the starting cause, and we're going to meet the real boss later on. He could just be another player in a much bigger game in the Ether, the Infinite. Now, before the portal does close, one of the twins gives a cryptic line that mentioned that the crew's journey will continue somewhere cold, which strongly hints that the next Zombies map might take place in a frozen region. Might be like Alpha Omega, who knows? Call of the Dead, who knows? Possibly another Dark Aether abnormality, maybe? Or even a location tied to the old Aether storylines, what I'm leaning for, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be sick. And if the house is now involved again, we could be heading towards something Zombies fans haven't seen in years. A return to the multiverse level conflict, which is why I truly think Call of the Dead is coming back, maybe as Alpha Omega, maybe as a rendition of Alpha Omega, before the zombie outbreak, after zombie outbreak, I don't know. But to summarize everything that I just said in this word salad of a video, because I am absolutely excited, I'm going to be breaking down this video, I'm going to be talking about all the things. Call of the Dead is coming back into Black Ops 7, all this cool stuff.
They did it. Oh, it stopped. Mine. You were very brave to fight the heart.
Hey,
Thank you so much for setting us free.
You're welcome.
But now the time loop is broken. He'll see you. He can't see us. We won't let him. We'll use this chalk to get us out of here.
And why should we trust you?
Because she wants us to help you. And she needs you to stop him from killing reality. He doesn't know what he's doing yet, but it's what's happening.
What do you think?
they do seem to have a way out of here.
Quick then, children. Where do we go?
To the house she made. And then to a cold place. So cold. Quickly, follow us.
Hopscotch, Mac? After you.
Paradox Junction isn't just a Nuketown callback, it's actually setting up the next phase of the zombie storyline, if you will. Now, we learned that the Warden is experimenting with time prisons, the Shadowsmiths are losing control of reality as itself, and the mysterious twins may be something entirely new within the Dark Aether. We also have a callback to the house, which could be related back to the Aether, the Infinite, the Apothecans may be coming back, Dr. Monty may be somehow involved, the Shadow Man might be coming back, maybe the Shadow Man, Shadowsmiths, they both have Shadow in the name, I don't know, but that's kind of like tinfoil hat there. I don't think I'm going to go that far. But it raises the biggest question of them all. Are the twins here to save reality, or are they about to rewrite it completely? This goes farther. I made a video a while ago about the fracturing in the ether, and every time we go back in time, we create more fractures. Interesting. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. See you all in the next one. Subscribe if you're brand new. It's been your boy Horizon, and I am out of here.